douching can actually cause you to get a vaginal infection. That's right. A lot of women douche vaginally to try to either get rid of an infection they think they might have or get rid of odor or vaginal discharge or things like that. But actually, douching can actually contribute to developing an infection. This is probably one of the biggest complications I see from my patients who douche, and we have to have this conversation. It's a really important one. You see, guys, what happens is when we douche, oh, by the way, let me go a step back. Our vagina has good bacteria that we need. It's good. It's there for a good reason, and we need it, okay? We call this the vaginal flora. But when we douche, the vaginal flora gets disrupted. That good bacteria sometimes gets reduced, and it allows for an overgrowth of, say, bad bacteria or yeast or other things. And women, we can get things like yeast infections or bacterial vaginosis or other bacterial or other types of infections vaginally because of douching. So while many women use douching to try to fix problems, it can actually create a lot of problems. I'm going to tell you other dangers of douching. And guys, there really are. I'm Dr. Jen. It's good to see you. I'm Dr. Jen Caudle. For those of you who are new, please like and follow my page. Also subscribe to my channel on YouTube. I do videos on all sorts of stuff. This is a really important topic. And before I get into more of the dangers of vaginal douching, let me just say something, ladies. I'm a woman. We're women, okay? There is this sort of stigma or this sort of idea out in society that we're always supposed to smell like a rose, or, our vagina is supposed to smell like something sweet and flowery and whatever. The truth is, our vaginas, they're not flowers. And they're not pieces of candy, and it's our vaginas are not built with cologne in them or perfume. It's sort of a myth. No, it is a myth that we should smell sweet and fruity and whatever. Vaginas naturally have sort of a natural scent, okay, and that's not bad. And our natural scent can change over the course of a day, change throughout the course of the month, etc. And that is natural, okay? I don't want us to be afraid or ashamed of the natural scent that we have, because you know what? That's our body, and that's okay. Now, what I would say is that if you have an odor that is unusual, different, bad, problematic, right? If you have questions, if you're wondering if the odor you have is natural or normal, well, yes, see your doctor. I would also say the same thing with vaginal discharge, right? It's natural to have some discharge, right? That's part of our body doing its thing. So don't assume that any vaginal discharge is wrong. Yes, there are some vaginal discharges that are a problem. Check with your doctor if you have questions, but just know this is part of who we are as women. And let's not sort of buy into the hype that it's bad, because it's not. It's actually natural. But let's go back to douching, okay? All right, back to vaginal douching. By the way, did you know that the word douche or douching is French, and it means to wash or soak? For those of you who don't know, vaginal douches, you can buy them over the counter, okay? I'm not saying this because I want you to go out and buy them. In fact, quite the contrary. I do not recommend douching, as you can probably tell from this video, nor do my doctor colleagues. We do not recommend it. I'm going to tell you why in this video, besides the points I already made. Douches over the counter, many of them are made of solutions of like water and vinegar or baking soda, iodine, different things like that. And usually there's some sort of applicator or nozzle or things like that to allow you to sort of squirt or insert the solution inside the vaginal cavity, okay? We are not talking about washing the outside of the vagina, the outer part. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is the inside, okay? And that does not need to be douched, okay? Why, you say? You say, well, why don't we need to wash it? Well, because the good thing is our vagina is like an oven. There's often on many ovens like a self-cleaning setting. Well, our vagina is self-cleaning as well. It cleans itself. That is the inside, okay? So keep that in mind. But that's what a douching solution is. Many people douche for different reasons. Some women douche because they think they are getting an infection and they want to get rid of it. By the way, if you ever think you have an infection, the answer is not douching. It's going to see your doctor to figure out what the cause is and how to fix it. Some women douche because of vaginal discharge. Remember we said about vaginal discharge, it can be normal. If it's an abnormal vaginal discharge, go see your doctor to get a proper diagnosis and treatment. Some women douche before and after sex. Some women douche because they think it prevents pregnancy. It does not prevent pregnancy, okay? Newsflash, it does not prevent pregnancy. Some women douche because they think it might prevent STDs. It does not prevent STDs. In fact, it can contribute to other types of infections I'm going to tell you about. Some women douche around menstruation time to feel fresh, to feel clean. That's not needed, okay? There's many different times people douche. Remember, this is just not the way to go. Okay, let's go back to the dangerous. Let's continue along the dangerous path, okay? What else can happen? I mentioned in the beginning, we've got bacterial vaginosis, yeast infections, things like that. The other things that can happen is pelvic inflammatory disease. That is right. There are some studies and some data that suggests that douching may actually increase the risk of pelvic inflammatory disease. This is a big deal, guys. Okay, when we talk about pelvic inflammatory disease, we are talking about an infection that's sort of beyond the vagina and the cervix. It's usually the ovaries, fallopian tubes, the uterus, and it can be not only very severe, but it can impact your ability to get pregnant later. Potentially, it can also impact pregnancies. There are a lot of sort of negative consequences that can come from pelvic inflammatory disease, and douching is thought to potentially increase that risk of pelvic inflammatory disease. Some data suggests that douching, sort of squirting the water in the vaginal cavity, can actually push bacteria sort of up further, and that may contribute. There are other theories as to why this happens as well. Guys, this is a potential danger of douching. There are other risk factors for pelvic inflammatory disease. This is not the only one, but alas, it's another reason why douching is not recommended. The other things is douching can potentially cause problems with pregnancy. There are some sources that suggest that the risk of preterm labor and ectopic pregnancies may be at an increased risk with vaginal douching. Guys, this is important, okay? And of course, we're still gathering data on so many different topics and how douching affects our body, but these are some things that we are certainly concerned about. The other thing is, remember, putting a solution up in your vaginal cavity, for many women, very likely will cause vaginal irritation or burning, may even cause discharge, okay? For some of the reasons that I've already mentioned. Guys, vaginal douching, if I've not been clear about this before, is simply not recommended, okay? Your body, your vagina will clean itself. If you have concerns about a discharge, about an odor, you see your doctor. But remember, once again, we're not flowers. And we don't have to be, okay? So please keep that in mind and know that you are just fine the way that you are. Guys, let me know if this was helpful, okay? Let me know what you think. Let me know if this was helpful. Let me know if this busted any myths that you might have had. Let me know if you douche, if your doctor has talked to you about this. I want to know your stories, because oftentimes what you write in the comments helps other people. Please also share this video with other people, because I'm hoping it will help as many people as possible. I'm Dr. Jen Caudle. It's good to see you. On Facebook, please like and follow my page. For those of you on Facebook who send stars, thank you in advance. Also on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. Click the little bell for updates. I'm on TikTok and Instagram too at Dr. Jen Caudle. Go to my website, please, drjencaudle.com. You can sign up for my free health newsletter and so much more. Guys, again, I hope this was helpful. Stay safe, stay healthy. Remember, you are perfect just the way you are. And if you have any concerns about what's going on down there in your vagina, at your vagina, make sure you check with your doctor, because that's what we're here for. All right, guys. Love y'all.